Bene, ben arrivati, buongiorno a tutti.
Welcome and good morning, everybody. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Alberto Donati and I am the administrator of FMI. I have the honor to welcome you today, but before kickstarting this Congress Day, talking about renewable energy groups for transition, I would like to give the floor, and I would also like to thank the municipality of Forlì. Giuseppe Peteta, who is the councillor for environment, is here in his righteous place to welcome you. Therefore, Giuseppe, I'd like to give the floor to you and thank you for being here with us. Thank you very much, Alberto. Good morning and welcome to you all. I would like to welcome you to Forlì on behalf of the mayor, and the whole municipality. Welcome to you, all our partners of the ENES-CE. We are the lead partner here, and we have the honor to welcome you, Croatia, Municipality of Prague, Slovenia, the Municipality of Capodistria, Hungary, the Municipality of Zuglo, Germany, the Municipality of Pfaffenhofen, and Lublino in Poland, and the city of Vienna, and all of you, the stakeholders. Today, we're here to talk about the actions that we carried out, the results that were fulfilled, and to talk about the energy communities in our municipality. I would also like to thank all the stakeholders, the national and regional authorities, and the research centers, national and international experts on energy efficiency and renewable energies, who are the main actors and the protagonists who will implement and who will produce plans. I would also like to thank GSE, RSE, ENEA, the National Agency for Energy and Sustainable Economy Development, the Emilia-Romagna region, and ANCI, National Association of Italian Municipalities. Today, we're going to be talking about our future and the use of renewable energies and the valorization of our municipalities aimed at gaining independence from fossil fuels that have a greater impact on our environment. The municipality of Forlì, thanks to the European project ENES-CE, had the great opportunity to program future environmental actions towards an energy transition of our municipality, and also to fight against climate change by signing the CEAP, the Sustainable Energy Action Plan. Today is just a moment where we acknowledge that we have just concluded a pathway that involved and engaged different stakeholders, citizens and students, trade associations, and all environmental associations of our municipality. These are all stakeholders that are the core and the heart of our municipality, which will make these projects and plan alive in the future, and they will make us independent from fossil fuels and will lead us towards a greater well-being, not just here in Forlì, but in Europe and the whole planet. This is what we hope with this very important day. Thank you very much for being here today, for joining us, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Patetta, for your welcoming speech. He has already mentioned some pivotal topics that we will touch upon. The first one is engagement and participation and good practices as well. I would also like to give the floor to Mr. Maltoni on behalf of FMI. He will tell us about what they do. The floor is yours, Claudio Maltoni. Thank you very much, and good morning, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. I will just keep my thoughts and remarks very brief. First of all, thank you for being here. As Mr. Patetta has just told you, we started a pathway together with our European partners that was very interesting for as much as energy is concerned, production of energy from renewable sources. What we hope for today is to share a pathway with you, with our municipality, and go more in depth, delve into these topics that are our current priority, also in the view of the international situation today. We are a in-house association of 15 municipalities. The main one is the municipality of Forlì. We deal with different topics, and maybe during the afternoon I will hold a longer speech to tell you what you do. Thank you for being here today, also because the energy transition challenge is a challenge that involves all of us. Therefore, I do believe that in the face of very complex challenges, we have to work together if we want to take further steps ahead. Thank you. Thank you very much, Claudio. We are running on schedule. Now I would like to leave the floor to Victoria Dubravec, sorry for my pronunciation, which should be a video speech, if I'm not mistaken. There you go, good morning and welcome.
From my side, I hope you can hear me well. Thank you for this.
Sentiamo benissimo, grazie.
Yeah, I understand that you hear me. Okay, so thank you for this introduction, and also thank you for the invitation to the final conference of the ENES-CE project. As you see, my name is Victoria Dobravec, and I'm a project manager at the Interreg Joint Secretariat of the Interreg Central Europe. I was responsible for the ENES-CE project throughout most of its lifetime. And at the beginning, first of all, I would therefore like to congratulate you, the entire project team, and in particular the lead partner for the successful implementation of your project, considering especially all the challenging times that we are facing at the moment, both on the one hand side, considering the COVID pandemic, but also, as my previous speaker addressed, the great need and importance of the energy transition, and at the present time, especially energy security at the European level. In this regard, I'm particularly glad to be present today in this final conference, unfortunately joining you in this still virtual online way, but still very glad to hear all the results that you have achieved and all the learnings from your project. Let me now share my presentation with you. Okay, perfect. So today, with my presentation, I will talk to you a little bit about the Interreg program, give you an overview what the Interreg program is, where we actually stand at this point of the time, what we have achieved so far, but also maybe most interesting for you, where we are heading to, and what is the future of our Interreg program. So I'd like to say that Interreg Central Europe program at the moment is in a, so to say, a transitional phase. What does this mean? This means that our program is still, our previous program 1420 is still in a way alive, with a few projects like ENES-CE still running and going through afterwards monitoring phase. But on the other hand, we have already started with our new program for 21-27 programming period, with actually launching and already closing our first call at the beginning of this year. In this regard, as we are in this transitional period, as an introduction, I would first give you a few statistical information on the achievements of this 14-20 period. So in this programming period, Interreg Central Europe was one of the 15 transnational programs of the cohesion policy. It covered 9 member states. These are namely Croatia, Slovenia, Hungary, Austria, Slovakia, Czech Republic, Poland, but also regions of Italy and Germany. Altogether, the program area included 76 NUTS2 regions, with around 146 million inhabitants counted in 2019. The program overall was structured in 9 priorities. These are, as you can see on the slide in these colorful circles, innovation, low carbon, environment and culture, and priority for transport. Within this 7 years, we have launched 4 calls, with our last call being launched in 2019. This last call was, you might know, experimental call, where we aimed actually at capitalization of previous results, both from Interreg Central Europe program, but also other Interreg programs and other co-funded programs. Altogether, we funded 138 projects, which includes more than 1,400 partners. Looking into more detail, into priority 2, low carbon priority, under which ENES-CE project has been funded. There we have in total 25 funded projects, which includes almost 300 institutions, and for that 43 million euro ERDF has been dedicated. Of course, this project developed numerous and implemented numerous pilots, designed many strategies and action plan, as well as a number of tools, and also conducted many trainings. If you're interested in more details to read and to see what kind of projects we have funded under this priority, but also the priorities mentioned earlier, I would warmly welcome you to visit our program website and read stories written by our Interreg Central Europe program, but also see the outputs directly developed by our program. That much about the great achievements for which also ENES-CE greatly contributed to our program. Now moving to the present times with a view on the future. As you can see, Interreg Central Europe is again existing as a transnational program. Similarly to the previous one, it covers 9 countries. However, this time this is reflected in 81 NUTS2 statistical regions. This is because of different numbering of statistical regions at the European level, but also because our program welcomed one new region from Germany. This is Braunschweig region. The program is again structured in 4 priorities, and this includes 9 specific objectives. Budget is slightly lower, 224 million euro ERDF, and the program again lasts 7 years. Looking into more details in the mentioned 4 priorities and actually these 9 specific objectives, our program now has the priority 1, again focusing on the innovation, namely priority cooperating for a smarter Central Europe, aiming to strengthen the innovation capacities and also entrepreneurship in Central Europe. This is followed by priority 2, which you can see is our biggest priority concerning number of specific objectives covered, but also the planned and dedicated budget for this priority. This also reflects the program aim to make and support Europe becoming greener in future. This priority covers topics under specific objectives ranging from energy transition to climate change, circular economy, environment, and also urban mobility. Then we also have priority 3, cooperating for a better connected Central Europe, which is focused on transport, in particular along EU transport corridors. Then last but not least is priority 4, which is a slightly different priority than we had before. It's new for our program and is dealing with improving governance for cooperation in Central Europe. Again, if you would like to read more about our program and understand in more details which topics and activities concretely we are covering, our program document has been published earlier and is still available on our program website, and you can access it at any time. And now the activities that we have already implemented on a program level that we are planning. I'm referring here to our calls, which are directed to you, to our stakeholders, to our projects. So the call 1 has been closed on 23rd of February 2022, so already some months ago. The call one was open for all 4 program priorities and all specific objectives, as you could see in a previous slide. The indicative budget of this call is 72 million euro ERDF. And looking at the proposals that we have received, I have to say that this call was rather a very successful one. We have received 280 proposals, and therefore we can consider the call quite successful, also because it was one stage call, one stage proposals. This also means that the assessment and the selection of proposals and projects to be then implemented will be rather competitive, and at the end we expect that we will really have very good and high quality projects. If you might not manage to apply to this call one, but you would still like to be part of Interreg community, and even if you did and you would like to be part once again, there is already call 2 on horizon, which is opening in early 2023. I have to say this call 2 will be a slightly different one. It will also be a smaller call. We expect to dedicate around 10 million euro ERDF for this call. This call will support pioneer projects. And what does this pioneer project mean in our Interreg Central Europe terminology? These are highly innovative projects, projects that are smaller in a duration and also smaller in a size, in a budget. The call will also be focused in a way thematically restricted by taking into account projects selected in this first call for proposals, but also the overall situation that we are having at the moment, in particular for and in Central Europe. Again, all the information about both calls for call 1, meaning the assessment procedure and the corresponding timeline, and also for the call 2 upcoming some deadlines and information is available on our program website. And therefore, I would again like to invite you to follow our program website and also our social media. And with this, I thank you very much for the attention, and I wish you a successful and very good final conference.
Grazie Victoria per la bella ed esaustiva
Thank you very much, Victoria, for a very beautiful speech. You made us understand the outreach of your project, more than 160, 140. You talked us about million inhabitants involved and engaged. So thank you very much. We wish you a very successful future. Let's now move on the agenda, and let's now watch some videos.
I am Giulia Righetti, I am project manager of the project. And thank you all for being here, for attending this conference. And so now, as announced, we are going to see the videos developed within the project. And the video will show the pilot actions implemented by each partner. And after the video, later on, each partner will present the pilot actions implemented in the different territories partners of the project. Thank you.
Grazie.
ENES-CE is a project supported by the European Regional Development Fund through the Interreg Central Europe program. It supports municipalities to involve citizens in the revision and development of their energy planning strategies so that they are implemented effectively. In this way, the municipalities can contribute to reducing European GHG emissions by 40% until 2030. They will also improve energy efficiency and energy savings as well as their air quality in their cities. There are 6 countries involved in the project: Italy, Croatia, Slovenia, Hungary, Germany and Poland, and it is led by the Italian municipality of Forli. We have set out to achieve 3 specific objectives by the end of the project. The first is to develop and test a set of toolboxes for public authorities on how to increase citizen participation. The second one is to actually engage citizens in creating local energy action plans and strategies from the very beginning of the planning process. The third one is to establish local citizen energy groups. We prepared a methodology for public authorities to increase citizen participation. We also organized a series of workshops to involve citizens directly in the energy planning and include their suggestions in the revised energy action plans. We drafted community energy investment guidelines, and we recommended communication methods for local energy plans. We use these tools to create new energy plans and help the development of local citizen energy groups. These groups developed and implemented smaller pilot projects together with the public authorities, and they will also help municipalities to implement energy plans in a bottom-up way in the future.
Thanks to the European project ENES-CE, we could carry out a crucial activity, the SECAP, and carry out an extensive participation-based process in our municipality with all the stakeholders, namely public administration, trade associations, environmental associations, different stakeholders, and mentioned technicians and experts in the field. Experts on the field. Thanks to the European project ENES-CE, we managed to create an activity to engage school children on the municipality of Forli. And in particular, we produced a wonderful project called The Sustainable Heart of Forli, because young people are the heart, the beating heart of our city. They managed to explain what environmental sustainability meant for them, what to use the renewable energies is for them, and what action should have been included in the SECAP. The ENES-CE project has made the creation of a consumer energy group possible, and the implementation of a pilot project, the distribution of an energy saving kit. In particular, the distribution of this kit gave them the possibility to understand the contributions they can and could give to the community through their individual daily actions.
Mestna občina Koper se je odločno zavezala k zmanjševanju toplogrednih plinov in povečanju deleža obnovljivih virov energije. K zmanjševanju toplogrednih plinov bo pomembno prispeval tudi projekt ENES-CE, s katerim občina postavlja temelj za ustanovitev prve sončne energetske zadruge. S pilotnim projektom skupnostne sončne elektrarne smo želeli v mestni občini Koper povezati skupino posameznikov, ki jih druži želja po proizvodnji električne energije iz čistega vira, jasno sonca. Državljani smo tako spodbudili k dostopu do obnovljivega vira energije, ki bo bistveno pripomogel k znižanju stroškov gospodinjstev in hkrati k bolj odgovornemu in trajnostno naravnanemu odnosu do okolja. V okviru projekta ENES-CE smo na delu občinske ceste prenovili tudi javno razsvetljavo. Tehnološko zastarele in energetsko potratne svetilke smo zamenjali s sodobnimi, okolju prijaznimi in energetsko varčnimi svetili, ki so povezane v sistem s pametnim nadzorom. S pilotno investicijo bo mestna občina Koper zmanjšala porabo električne energije, povečala tudi prometno varnost v okolju in prispevala k zmanjševanju svetlobnega onesnaževanja.
Az ökokör az pont arról szól, hogy hogyan lehet változtatni a mindennapi életünkben, és hogyan lehet fenntarthatóbban élni. A koordinátorok, illetve az ökokör csoportvezetőknek még az a szuper erejük, hogy ők másoknak is segítenek. Hát ez jó neked és a bolygónak is. Azért, mert az ökokörben van egy csomó ember, aki tud neked segíteni abban, hogy hogyan legyen még zöldebb.
Közösségi bringatárolót építünk ki.
Ismerkedni, segíteni, jól érezni jöttem magam, és ez folyamatban van éppen jelenleg.
Az asztalban megvalósul az, hogy egy helyi közösség erősödik. Először magunkban kell a változást keresni, és aztán a kis közösségekben.
Još 2014. godine Međimurska energetska agencija izradila je SEAP, odnosno Akcijski plan održivog energetskog razvitka. Unutar tog dokumenta napravila se jedna analiza energetske potrošnje, zatim analiza emisija CO2, te su se dale mjere čijom bi se provedbom do 2020. godine smanjio negativni utjecaj na klimatske promjene, odnosno emisije CO2 bi se smanjile za 20%. Kako se bliži 2020. godina, sam taj projekt, odnosno provedba dokumenta završava, pa je kroz projekt ENES-CE grad Prelog odlučio izraditi novi dokument imena SECAP, odnosno dodatak postojećeg dokumenta sa jednim dijelom adaptacije na klimatske promjene, koji gleda do 2030. i kojim se želi smanjiti emisije CO2 za 40%.
Prvenstveno je cilj ovog projekta da se građani našeg grada, a i okolice uključe aktivno u određivanje buduće energetske politike grada. Isto tako, u sklopu tog projekta planiramo provesti jedan pilot projekt gdje će građani bottom-up principom sudjelovati u određivanju mjera koje će se financirati tim pilot projektom.
Ovaj projekat je bitan i važan za daljnji razvoj grada Preloga u onom energetskom pogledu. Znači, mi već dugi niz godina sudjelujemo u tome, ali ovaj projekat, ja ću reći, ide u pravcu promjene energetske strategije, dizanje strategije na jednu višu razinu u kojoj bi bili obuhvaćene i društveni i privatni sektor i time bi naravno sve to skupa digli na jednu višu razinu.
Realizując projekt ENES-CE współfinansowany z środków programu Interreg Europa Środkowa na lata 2014-2020, województwo lubelskie we współpracy z gminą Niemce włączyło lokalną społeczność gminy w proces oddolnego planowania energetycznego. Włączenie mieszkańców w planowanie energetyczne jest procesem. Wymagało organizacji spotkań i przekazania wiedzy eksperckiej, pokazania celów, możliwości, ale także wytłumaczenia zależności ekonomicznych, technicznych i środowiskowych związanych z realizacją planowanych wspólnie inwestycji energetycznych.
Klaster Energii Niemce powstał dzięki realizacji projektu ENES-CE. Obecnie prowadzona jest akcja pilotażowa. Ma na celu edukację ekologiczną lokalnej społeczności i podniesienie świadomości o możliwości ograniczenia niskiej emisji w gminie. Między innymi poprzez inwestycje w odnawialne źródła energii, efektywność energetyczną, wymianę niskosprawnych kotłów na wysokosprawne, docieplenie budynków, co przyczyni się do zmniejszenia zużycia energii elektrycznej i cieplnej, redukcji kosztów energii, a także zmniejszenia emisji zanieczyszczeń do powietrza.
Klaster Energii Niemcy po zakończeniu akcji informacyjnej chciałby dokonać inwentaryzacji możliwości przeprowadzenia inwestycji w odnawialne źródła energii na terenie gminy Niemcy, angażując w to każdego tak naprawdę mieszkańca gminy Niemcy, który może stać się uczestnikiem czy też członkiem klastra Energii Niemcy. Chcielibyśmy zadbać również o przygotowanie infrastruktury technicznej, która zapewni odpowiednie wyprowadzenie energii elektrycznej, którą zamierzamy wytwarzać w naszych aktywach energetycznych, jak też zapewnić dodatkowe dostawy paliwa gazowego do układów kogeneracyjnych. We wszystkie te działania chcielibyśmy zaangażować zarówno władze gminy, poszczególnych przedsiębiorców, czy też, ja już powtórzę po raz kolejny, po prostu każdego mieszkańca gminy.
When establishing the citizen energy groups, several project partners faced legal or community building challenges and had to adapt their plans accordingly. Energy communities are a cool way to fight the heat. Join one or start one.
Ecco, adesso intanto avete visto tutti i video.
Brilliant. Now you watched the first video, so you can understand how important the work that we did during the past few years was. Public policies need to be integrated with good practices. And now I would just like to give the floor to Marcella Bengozzi of FMI. Good morning, everybody. Unfortunately, I'm sorry if the video was without subtitles. However, you can download it from the web page of the ENES-CE, and sorry, apologies for this technical glitch. I'll keep my remarks very short about the two videos that you watched. The first one was produced during the lockdown period by students. Students were committed to this work. They collected music, songs, and thanks to the help of our media makers, we managed to make this video. Therefore, for us and for them was very important. After that, you will see a video that the students could make in person and on site after some educational activities. The municipality of Fully and European project ENES-CE, they carried out educational activities, they produced images, different videos. I'm not going to spoil the video now. We managed to engage schools that are involved in the SEAP, the Sustainable Energy Action Plan, that is going to be approved shortly. Thank you very much and enjoy the videos.
Pedalare non fa male. Amici per il mondo.
Cycling can't do harm all around the world. I drink and waste. The sea is clean, it's been healed. A sea to love. I cycle and don't pollute, and I don't pollute. You bin and I recycle. Let's adopt bees. Love for nature. Adopt a planet, become a hero. Stop global warming. Centuries-old oxygen, renewable energy. I enlighten myself with my own mind. Recycle to make a difference. You bin and I recycle. Let's save nature. Thank you, nature.
Dialoghi e effetti sonori del presente video sono stati realizzati
All
dai
drawings, animation, dialogues, and sound effects of this video were made by the students of the 4th grade of the primary schools Melotto and Don Oreste Bensi during the workshop The Sustainable Heart of Fili Today and Tomorrow, contributing to the implementation of the Sustainable Energy and Climate Action Plan. What is green mobility to me? To me, it is just like cycling or walking. To me, energy saving is when I'm in a room and I turn on the lights, but when I leave, I turn it off. To me, a renewable source is a solar panel. This is a renewable source to me. Green mobility is a vehicle that doesn't pollute, that doesn't do harm to us or to the human beings that live on our planet. Why don't they invent cars powered by solar or wind power? Or powered by chocolate power or whipped cream power? Or things that can't be used any longer, just like waste? Or airplanes powered by solar power? It would be nice to go horse riding, but it's impossible because we are in a city. So let's use the bike rather than the car, or use rainfall to water plants, cycling and walking. Energy sources can be renewable, such as wind, sun, heat, while non-renewable sources are substances like oil or other substances. Rainfall, wind, sun are renewable sources that everybody should use all around the world. I would say the strength of sea waves, the strength of wind and the sun. When we see paper, plastic on the ground, then we should pick them up and throw them into the bin. Chemicals can be transformed into things that might help the environment. Energy saving is when we turn off the tap while brushing our teeth. It is not throwing paper along the streets. To use less energy, we shouldn't use cars, but bikes or walk. To save, we should avoid using too much plastic because it is made of oil. Use rainfall to water the plants. At home, we can use a plastic bottle with 4 caps and we can build a car. We shouldn't use too many household appliances at the same time. I, just like my grandma, reuse plastic bottles, top them up, and we carry them around in case we get thirsty. With a plastic bottle, for instance, creating a centerpiece for a day when my auntie's friends came over. We shouldn't throw anything on the ground, and if we find something on the ground, we should pick them up, we should pick it up and bin it. No waste on the street. To avoid pollution, we can use organic products such as boxes that you can reuse. Reduce the amount of plastic that ends up into the sea, or else it will transform into microplastics, killing many species. We would need to turn off the lights if we're not there. We should avoid cutting too many trees because on top of causing landslides, trees contribute to transform CO2 into oxygen. We need to eat less meat because many species are endangered, just like birds and squirrels hiding their food for the winter. Let's try to use the bike more instead of the car, which produces gases which are not good to breathe. Reduce cars that can absorb CO2 and then release it into the space if this is not damaging, or produce, for example, an electrical system that you can power by cycling a bike. Use less electricity and more solar power. But what happens if the world ends?
Ecco, intanto ringraziamo chi ha partecipato a questo progetto.
I would like to thank all the people who took part in this project. So children usually understand the essence of the project. So we found the heart, the core of the issue of climate change and energy transition. So now we have the chance to change the way we produce and store energy, to change the situation for the younger generations who are well aware of these topics. So now we have the coffee break, 15 minutes for everyone. Thank you very much.
Bene, dopo il coffee break riprendiamo.
Okay, so after the coffee break, we can restart our session. So now we will hear Mr. Alan Bibic from MENEA. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Dear ladies and gentlemen, buongiorno, good morning to everyone. My name is Alan Višnić. I come from the regional energy agency from Croatia called Međimurje Energy Agency, because Međimurje is a region where we come from. We are one of the project partners responsible for Working Package 3, and Working Package 3 is the most visible part of the project, summarizing everything that we have done in previous 2 working packages. It's divided in 3 parts. First one is dedicated to the creation of citizen energy cooperatives or other forms of citizen energy groups. We have established so far 5 those groups or cooperatives in partner regions. The second part is supporting the implementation of pilot actions, and during this session you will be able to hear about what partners have done in their regions regarding the pilots. So this is the second part, and last but not least, the third one is supporting the transferability of the project. So what happens after the project lifetime, and we have 3 documents or tools that are under development right now, being finalized this month. First one is evaluation of all implementation pilot actions, so in the one document. The second one is lessons learned from our experiences in the project and partner experiences. And the third one are transnational guidelines. So this is being done by Medjimurje Energy Agency, supported by the project partners. So those documents are being finalized. Now I would like to firstly thank our host, the municipality of Forli, because we feel very comfortable here. Thank you very much for that. And I would give the floor now to the municipality to say a few words about their implemented pilot action. So I don't know who is presenting. Fabrizio, yes, the floor is yours.
Bene, grazie Allen.
Thank you, Alan. My presentation is in English, but I will speak in Italian. I hope you can hear the translation for the interventions that are not in English. If you have any doubts, you can contact me or Marcella. We created a pilot action inside the ENES-CE project, and we implemented it in Forli. So this is my presentation. First of all, we contacted the different stakeholders of the area, both economic, environmental associations, and we asked them what intervention we could carry out as the municipality of Forli to support the topic of climate change, fight, and environmental sustainability. So the municipality should have a guiding role. So we wondered how we could involve all the citizens so that they could start thinking about environmental sustainability and energy efficiency, so that they could start acting as individuals. And we realized that training is fundamental. So we created some workshops and we decided to create some energy groups. And there are different configurations. They can be energy communities, and the legislation in Italy is evolving. And in the afternoon, this afternoon, we will hear something about that from the representative of the region. But then there can be also informal groups, for example, purchasing groups. So, for example, people can get together to buy electricity bulbs or electrical appliances, and to play an important role. And it's interesting also for those people who sell these objects. So it is important to have a strong impact, starting from changing our own habits. We proposed to the people who took part in the workshops, we proposed them to be part of this group of energy consumers. So we came into contact with them, and these things can be dreams that come true. So 65 people are officially members of the energy consumer group in Forlì. And then we said that we wanted to save energy and we wanted to use renewable energy sources. So we shared this knowledge with the municipality, and thanks to the ENES-CE project, we managed to give the citizens 100 energy-saving kits. It's like a toolbox, thanks to which you can measure your attitude to save energy, or also to see the attitude that we need to adopt to save energy. And starting from daily routine actions, we can analyze the need for objects, equipment, or the need to change our habits, or for example, the need to refurbish the buildings we live in. And this is very important because if we realize that we have this need for ourselves, we can share this knowledge and we can work together with the other citizens of the community. So our effort with the efforts of other people can lead to improvements that are useful for society. For example, if I need to do some refurbishing works, or I need to change the way I use some equipment, and also my neighbor needs to do that, we are aware of the fact that we have common needs. We can make efforts together, we can get together, and we can make more important changes with fewer efforts when compared to individual efforts. So we thought of giving anyone who is interested these energy-saving kits. We still have around 20 kits available, and you can ask for them even here today outside. There is a thermohygrometer that is very useful in the houses, both in flats or in big houses or in a block of flats, because it measures the air quality. For example, temperature, humidity, so that we can know if we're using too much heating, if we're using the air conditioning system too much, or if the quality of the air is not good. For example, it's too humid inside the building. So maybe I need to open my windows more. So this tool can give us some insights on what I need to change in the house. Then I can show you that we have an energy measurer so that I can measure the consumption of my fridge, for example. What is the consumption every day? If the fridge is A+++, I can read the consumption and I can also measure how much energy I can save, but also how much money I can save, and also in terms of CO2 emissions. Then a luxometer to measure the need for lighting inside a room. Sometimes we can just use natural light for some rooms, and sometimes we have too much energy inside a room. So thanks to this tool, we can measure the need of light we have in a certain room. So the first thing we need to ask ourselves is, what do I need? What are my specific needs? Then LED lamp. Nowadays, it's difficult to find lamps that are not LED, but I think it's still a useful object that you can use at home. So this is the energy saving kit that we are distributing at the Energy Help Desk in Lombardini Street in Forlì. So you can request the kit and then you can take it directly. And how did we decide? We decided together that this was the right solution, the right pilot project for Forlì. We decided this together during workshops, and we also added another object. It's a toy, a solar toy. As you saw in the videos, we worked with children as well, and it's very important to work with children. In the videos, we saw their point of view. Inside this project, we created some local focus groups. We contacted the stakeholders to see what they thought about climate and energy, renewable energies, and we asked the same things to children as well. We asked ourselves how the use of energy can have an impact on our daily lives. So what are the daily actions that can help us save energy? So toys are a very important tool to do that. So playing is part of our daily actions, and it could be a way to think that we need energy and that we can use renewable energies that don't cost anything and that don't have any impact on the environment. So that's what we started doing, and we bought a certain number of windmills, but we could do more. So we also organized training workshops, educational workshops, for example, relating to solar power in schools, and we wanted to give these toys as a gadget. So we wanted a solar windmill for children, and I think they were all very happy. So with their families, probably they started talking about these topics. Also, 15 minutes are enough when talking about renewable energies. So I'm about to conclude my speech. I can add that these kits could be requested to the municipality, and we asked the people also to take part in the workshops, and everyone participated in these projects, and they were all part of the energy group. We gave 74 energy-saving kits and 353 solar toys, and we will continue to do so. Thank you very much for your attention.
Dear Fabrizio, thank you very much for this detailed presentation of your pilot. Now I would like to invite our dear neighboring country of Slovenia, and Darka will say what happened there, more precisely in the municipality of Koper. The floor is yours.
I have a presentation, please. Okay. So my name is Darka Jezeršik-Žerjal. I come from municipality of Koper. This is a municipality that lies in the western coast of Slovenia. It's near Trieste. Municipality of Koper successfully implemented a pilot action investment into smart lighting. We made this modernization of lighting on Slemenska Road at Hrvatini. 36 inefficient luminaries were replaced with new LED luminaries. We have also installed the so-called SCADA system that helps us to control equipment for lighting and management. These new lights will contribute to energy savings and operational costs, and together with LED technology will contribute up to 60% lower lighting costs. On the other hand, this technology will also prolong the life of the lamps and further contribute to the reduction of light pollution. Total investment costs were around 30,500 euros, of which half of them were provided from the ENES-CE project. In addition, this is the picture before and after the installation, And this is the SCADA display for smart lighting. Quick look. So our next task within ENES-CE project was also to establish a solar energy cooperative. In Koper, we have a lot of sun potential that is not used, and we believe that we can do much better to make some energy from the sun. So I can tell that solar energy cooperative is still in the process of establishment. We have put a lot of work and effort to establish it. We have performed few workshops with citizens who were invited to be a part of this cooperative. Then we had several meetings with school and House of Culture and community. The plan was to establish a solar energy cooperative in the suburban part of our municipality, in the local community Sveti Anton. And there we have a primary school which could provide or will provide a roof for the installation of a solar power plant with a maximum power of 100 kilowatts. So we have invited school, citizens, and local community to take an active part. And this is a business model that was produced during this project. So the solar power plant, as I said, would be installed on the roof of this primary school, which is owned by the municipality. Then households and other consumers like local community, school, will be supplied with the electricity by the same solar power plant. And this household and other members like House of Culture, local community, and school would establish solar energy cooperative. And this electricity from this solar power plant will be shared among these community members. School was willing to participate as an active partner, but during the project we found out that the public institutions could not become members of this cooperative. So the decision was made that the municipality will join the cooperative, as school is owned by our municipality. Besides the municipality, 6 citizens have expressed their interest to join cooperative. As I said, a lot was done. We have prepared documents that are the base for the establishment of the cooperative, like the act of the establishment and basic cooperative rules. But unfortunately, we still are facing some problems to establish. So this cooperative will be established under the new Act on the Promotion of Renewable Energy Sources, which was provided last summer, but not all the bylaws have been adopted. So we are waiting that this bylaws will be adopted, because this unclear legislative framework doesn't give the motivation for the citizens to be involved in the establishment. We are afraid that some delays are still expected, as recently we had a change of government in Slovenia, so we don't know when these bylaws will be adopted. Then the second issue is that municipality, as I said, would like to join the cooperative. We got the legal opinion on the possibility of joining the municipality to the cooperative, and legal opinion clarifies that municipality can join and can become a member, but public interest must be shown. That means that the municipal council must confirm the involvement into the cooperative. I think this won't be such a problem. We just need some time to prepare documents for this council. And I think the biggest problem that we were facing during this whole process of establishment is that we can't find candidate to be the president of the cooperative. Currently, we have 6 members, candidates, citizens who would like to join, but none of them would like to take the responsibility to become the leader of this cooperative. They are afraid of something new because this is really new in Slovenia, and mostly they are older people. So this is all from my side. We hope that we will be able to establish it soon and to finish our work that was performed.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Darka. Thank you for the presentation. We are with you, and we believe that you will successfully tackle your legislative issues and establish your solar cooperative and find a president. Now, traveling through Europe, we come to Hungary, city of Budapest, district 14, Zugló, and we would like to hear what they have done in the Zugló. Maria, the floor is yours.
Lascio la parola.
Thank you very much. I'm Maria Csikai. I'm working in the municipality of Zugló as a project manager, and I've been involved we try to do our best to make some collaboration between the municipality institution and SMEs, and also NGOs, stakeholders, the citizens. So we try to do a big collaboration. Why is that? Because we thought that the Zugló community climate change strategy says that the full amount of CO2 emission is not only depends on the municipality. Only 7% of the CO2 emission relies on the municipality, and 43% is others, like the citizens. So that's why we thought that it's very important to try to find that kind of pilots. We can collaborate with the citizens, NGOs, and other stakeholders. So the first project, is the Measure Together. The target group was the local institutes. These are, I'm sure that you have the same things, that the institutes themselves, so the buildings owned by the municipality, but it's run by different kind of institutions. So that's why it was a new thing that we collaborated with these institutions and tried to make an energy monitoring system, which is collects the energy data in one software with the one Excel sheet, and in the same time, in the same method. So that was a big thing, and we gathered 40 local public institutions. And now we have a policy recommendation, and we have a kind of beautiful looking, what is it, diagrams, as you see, and they can have a good decision, I hope, on energy efficiency. The second one is the Eco Map of Zuglo. This is an online map and also an offline map that we collected the citizens' idea about what we should include in this map. So there are, for example, vegetarian or vegan restaurants, also collect that we collected all the things what would be useful for each sustainable lifestyle.
Cosa potesse essere utile a tutti per condurre uno stile di vita sostenibile. Il terzo punto invece è Let's Go Green Together, quindi diventiamo verdi insieme, un altro programma. In questo caso abbiamo tentato di incoraggiare gruppi sostenibili, gruppi verdi, anche con l'aiuto di ONG.
We work together on how to change their lifestyle to consume less, and with the main goal to try to provide them a methodology how to reduce their CO2 emission. And the bike storage, it's and the energy retrofit in Asta. This is a citizens NGO that was founded by the Energia Club, our partner in Hungary, and they do a little bicycle storage together with the citizens. You already seen in a video, I believe. So that was it, and what we really wanted to achieve, that the people should get some ideas and methods, that they are not alone. We can work together, we can find a good solution together, and they have a chance to work together for the solution in Zuglo's energy group, what we established. And let's hope that together we can make a change in Zuglo pretty soon. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Maria. Now we go to Croatia, town of Prelog. My colleague Miro can't wait to start his presentation.
Thank you, Alan. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce myself. I'm Miroslav Hrvić. I'm coming from town of Prelog, and I am project manager in these projects. Firstly, I bring you the best wishes in best regards from our mayor, Mr. Kolarek, and I will now start the presentations about. Thanks. I will firstly say something about the town of Prelog. Town of Prelog is located in northern part of Croatia, in Međimurje County. Like my colleague Alan said, we are situated near Slovenian and Hungarian border, as you can see here, out on the northeast part of Croatia, on the left bank of the Drava River. Town of Prelog is administrative, economic, cultural, and educational center of lower part of Međimurje County. It has 8 settlements with more than 7,000 inhabitants. Town Prelog is one of the most developed small towns in the Republic of Croatia, and that development is a result of the strengthening of the tradition of craft, entrepreneurship, and investment of foreign capital. We constantly invest in further intensive development and expansion of our economical zones. We are raising standards in traffic and development of transport infrastructures. So I hope in a few years we will have our new town bypass road. Also, we have the great potential for development of tourism and sports related to the floodplain area on the reservoir Lake Drava. And one other thing that we should take a look at town of Prelog is leader in waste management in Croatia. We have signed the zero waste strategy. We are separating more than 66% of the waste. With the ENES-CE project, we have implemented different kind of activities. First one activity is that we have revised our SECAP. It's the document. During the past, in 2013, Town Prelog has joined the Covenant of Mayors, and in November of 2014, we adopted our first plan, Sustainable Energy Action Plan. And with this ENES-CE project, we had made a revision of that plan, and we have adopted and that revised plan, and we uploaded with climate facts, and we have new SECAP, Sustainable Energy Climate Action Plan, and it was confirmed in November 2020. In this plan, we have some goals. It's to reduce emissions for 40% until the year 2030 from all sectors while implementing different measures. It's 18 of them. Their goals are to different measures like energy efficiency measures, spending management, education, and other like that. On some numbers in new SECAP, we have planned to reduce the CO2 emissions approximately 40,000 of tons of the emission CO2, then a reduction of energy consumption for 71,000 of megawatt hours. And for that, we should invest more than 1.1 billion kunas. It's a little bit big amount of money. It's approximately 150 million euro, but we should raise our targets higher, so we will achieve more. Second activity from our project is that we established Citizen Green Energy Club Prelog. During the workshops, they actively participate in selection of our pilot project, which is under implementation. The Citizen Energy Group was founded on July 2021, and their goal is to promote and develop an energy-independent community, renewable energy sources, promote sustainable development, and encourage social innovation and entrepreneurship. During the workshops which we have implemented, we had have survey, and as a result of that survey, we have selected our pilot project, and it is the solar power plant. The solar power plant is under implementation on our kindergarten field. It's a Prelog. The building is owned by the town of Prelog. It's a flat roof area of 550 square meters, and it is designed the power plant of 50 kilowatts. The energy which will be produced will be for own consumptions. The total value of that investment is approximately 60,000 euros. And we will have 15,000 euros from ENES-CE project for pilot. During the process of designing and implementing that pilot action, we firstly resolved permission to connect to the network for our national energy distributor. Then we had made technical documentation, and after we got the document from our that permission from energy distributor, we have started the public procurement procedure, and our contract was signed on 23rd of March 2022. And we are hoping that that our solar plant will be done by the middle of June. There's some pictures from yesterday. They started to putting the under constructions, and they promise that by the end of the week the solar plant work will be done, and then after that we make some connections and connections to the our distributor, to the network. Also, we, as a part of pilot actions, its addition to the pilot action and upgrade of the project, we had made the project documentation for electric vehicle charging station, which will be also connected to the kindergarten and our solar panels on the roof. Also, we have started procurement procedure, and also we have applied to our national fund and for environmental protection and energy efficiency, and we have received a grant for buying a new electric cars. That procedure, procurement procedure also started. And we are hoping that by the end of the year we will have all in one package. That's all. Thanks you for your attention. And at the end, I would like to thank our host for their hospitality and all the project partners for our successful cooperation. And I hope that we will continue our cooperation in some future green energy projects. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Miro. Now we will use IT superpower. We go online. We are traveling to Poland, where Agnieszka from Lubelski Voivodeship, municipality of Niemce, is hopefully waiting for us. Agnieszka?
Yes, hello for
the floor
everyone.
is yours.
Do you hear me? Yes. So hello, I'm Agnieszka Siediska. I've been working for the Marshal's Office of the Lubelskie Voivodeship, and I will tell you about the implementation of the pilot action by the Niemce commune in the Lubelskie Voivodeship. Lubelskie Voivodeship is on the east, is in East Poland, and we have a border with Ukraine and Belarus, so you can imagine where is the region. So in my presentation, I will tell you how the Niemce Energy Cluster implemented the pilot action of ecological education for local community. I will present you the aim of the pilot action topics and sum it up. And in the end, I will tell you also about the conclusions from the pilot and next steps, activities of the Energy Cluster Niemce. So in October 21, the citizens and other stakeholders from the Niemce commune signed the agreement on the establishment of the Niemce Energy Cluster, and they signed also the letter of intent for the implementation of the pilot action. There are now 10 members in this Niemce Energy Cluster. It's the Niemce commune, 2 associations, so NGOs, 3 companies, and 4 residents. And they conducted the pilot action with help of the external expert engaged in the ENES-CE project. The aim of the pilot action was to to raise awareness among the local community about the possibility of reducing low emissions in the commune through energy saving, replacement of the old heating boilers, investments in renewable energy sources and thermal modernizations activities, and etc. And the aim of the action was also to inform about the possibility of choosing the air quality notification systems in the future. In addition, the cluster members wanted to promote the idea of cooperation within the cluster and the possibility for the new members to join the cluster. So during the pilot action, there were conducted 3 meetings, and the total number of the participants was 68 persons, and the target groups were entrepreneurs and all residents of the ENES-CE commune. The topics presented and discussed during the pilot action you can see on the slide, and the external expert presented these topics based on PowerPoint presentation, and then after this there was discussion with the expert and cluster members, and the most interesting topic for the meetings participants were the plans of the energy cluster to create the special purpose company for realization of this investments. Because as I said during the meeting, there were presented the possible investments included in the updated during the ENES-CE project the energy plan, which is a low carbon economy plan for the ENES-CE commune. And assuming that these investments will be implemented by 2030, following targets should be achieved, like reduction of the carbon dioxide emissions by over 78%, increasing of the share of energy from renewable sources to almost 57%, and reduction of the final energy consumption by 3.5%. And as I said, the function of the energy cluster will be linked to the implementation of this investments, which are proposals from the project meetings participants. To summarize the pilot action, we have used the attendance list from each meeting, which confirmed reaching the target groups, and moreover, the results from the anonymous evaluation and a satisfaction questionnaire were used to prepare the report on the implementation of the pilot action and achievements of the assumed goals in this pilot. And 36 people responded to the questionnaire out of total 68 people participated in the 3 meetings, which is 55% of all participants of the pilot action. And you can see on this slide and on next slide on charts the results of this survey, which assess the knowledge and information obtained by stakeholders during the meetings. So analyzing the answers, the respondents the conclusion is that 33 respondents increased their knowledge about the possibilities of reducing low emissions in the commune. And as you can see, most of what was our aim, and as you can see, most of the respondents gained also knowledge what low emission is, what causes low emissions, and what are sources that do not cause low emissions, and from which program the residents and entrepreneurs can obtain funds for investments in installations that use RES, and for the investments for improving the energy efficiency of buildings. In addition, 16 respondents declared the willingness to become a cluster member. And on this slide, you can see the same results of this survey summed up in percentage share and in charts. And on the first chart, you can see that 91% increased the knowledge about the possibilities of reducing low emissions in the commune. And on the fourth chart, you can see also the results, that's most of the respondents supported the idea of installation boards or sensors for measure the air pollution in the commune. After they gained knowledge, knowledge about the possibility of choosing the air quality notifications system in the future. The respondents suggested also locations for this to install the devices by answering the open questions, and the most of them suggested that these devices should be boards or sensors should be located on the building of the Niemce commune or another villages. The respondents expressed their opinion also about the implementation of the ENES-CE project, and 69% of the respondents stated that the implementation of the project, the meetings and the creation of the energy cluster is beneficial for the inhabitants of the Niemce commune, because they involve them in common activities in energy planning and investment in renewable energy sources. As I said, the pilot actions participants could also answer the open question in the questionnaire, and so they after they gained the knowledge, they said also what kind of daily or behaviors they want to change to reduce the energy consumption and thus also CO2 emissions, and so affect the air quality in the commune, and what kind of investment they would like to make in their own home or company. And as you can see, the most frequented answer was the installation of the heat pump now, but also the replacement of central heating boilers, and or not leaving the devices in standby mode. The participants of the pilot action assessed also the quality of the information and provided to them, and also the organization of the meeting, and it was assessed very good, as you can see on the slide. And conclusions after the implementation of this pilot action are that while carrying out the pilot action, it was noticed that some inhabitants see benefits of the creation of energy cluster in order to cooperate in energy planning and implementation of areas investments, but there is need for more knowledge transfer into the details of the plans of the cluster to create this special purpose company for realization of these investments. And this leads to the conclusion that meetings like in the pilot action should be organized also in the future by the cluster. And another lessons learned from the pilot action is that involving citizens in energy planning is a long process, but by showing the first effects of the work and education, it is possible to inspire public confidence in wider group of inhabitants and encourage them to cooperate. While pilot action, it could be also seen that successful implementation of this pilot action depends also from the good cooperation between the cluster members, because there were some change in the date of the meetings, and because everyone from the energy cluster had the same goal, so everyone adopted these changes. That's why changes that we couldn't predict in the planning phase of this pilot action. And the added value of this pilot action is also the experience gathered by the cluster members that can be also transferred to the other communes and as example of good practice. After the pilot action in May, the cluster organized also the meeting, which we couldn't make during the pilot action because of the epidemic situation. And this meeting, this educational meeting with children was conducted, as I said, in May. And the aim of this meeting was shaping pro-ecological attitudes of the pupils and also mobilizing them to activities to save energy and so also protect the natural environment. And moreover, the cluster members wanted also educate pupils and so reach also out to the with the information to the parents of these children, because as we said in the project, in some tools that we work in the project, children are also a very important part of the chain in the society. So after the implementation, the pilot action, the energy cluster in May organized also the summary meeting where presents these results of the pilot action, and in which cluster informed the inhabitants about the next steps of the energy cluster after the pilot action in 2021. And what the cluster done is you can see on the slide. So cluster conducted an inventory of lands covering approximately 18 hectares plots suitable for investments in photovoltaic or wind farm installations. And but this in this with this case, cluster will deal also in the near future. Cluster conducted also talks and activities about the possibility of obtaining funding for documentation regarding the planning of the geothermal boreholes in the future. But there are in each investment there are many issues to be solved, and it is not so simple. Make it in a few months. Sometimes it needs more times. And cluster asked also for evaluation and sending the offer of for the development of technical and formal documentation necessary for implementation of cogeneration project, and will also is considering also this kind of investments. And the Niemce commune, which is the member of the energy cluster, and which priority project is PV investments, announced for the third time now the public tender for implementation of this project investments in photovoltaic, but the contractor is delaying with the signing of the contract, so it may be delay in implementation of this investments. And the energy cluster is waiting also now for the announcement of the call for proposal for applications from the funds for the Lubelskie region program, and cluster think that the in this program, cluster as the citizens energy group can receive additional points at the stage of project proposal rating. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, so thank you everybody, also especially the guys from Foley for inviting us and having this great conference here. And also yesterday was a really good day in the project, and we just have a few slides for our pilot project, which is quite suitable because we are running a little bit out of time. So it's very shortly what we did in Germany now. We are two partners, so I'm presenting the pilot project for the SVP, for the municipal utilities in Pfaffenhofen. And it's not working yet, but...
Down.
Second button. Ah, perfect, very good.
Right.
It's working, okay. So the final status of our pilot project, as I said, for PP8, we installed the battery swarm storage and it's in operation now. Just very shortly, a battery swarm storage is virtually connected swarm of batteries, which are then able to communicate with each other and therefore exchange power when needed. So on the one location, there's power produced, for example, through a PV installation, but not all of the electricity is needed. So the storage unit is able to say, okay, I got enough power and transfer then to another one. And if you virtually connect a lot of those units, you have one big storage unit, but you don't have to build a big one. You can just accumulate the power of the single systems. So it's kind of a decentralized system, storage system, more or less. And it's not that easy. Technically, it's working. It's not easy technically, but the more hurdles we have in the legal problems. Are we allowed to transfer it? How is it with grid fees and so on? But this is, yes, a very small unit because the budget in the project was not too big. So we installed 2 of those actually, and we have 3 locations which are able to communicate. Yeah, there you can see on the left, it's just like down here, that's like a standard battery pack, lithium iron phosphate battery pack, and you see the inverter in the top. And on the right hand side, there you can see also the communication unit. And yeah, as I said, it's now in operation. It's installed at 3 locations. We got one at the customer center in Pfaffenhofen. Then we got one in the head office of the municipal utilities. And then we got one at the Aalmühle, it's called. It's just a small hydrogen power plant. Yeah, and the data exchange works. It works not perfectly at the moment, but it works. And yeah, as I said, the most hurdles are really like the building and the legal, because it's not allowed to just transfer electricity wherever you want to. And especially you have to pay the grid fees independently from how much of the grid you really need. So it doesn't matter if you just transfer the electricity 100 meters to the next location, but you have to pay the whole fees. So, but as you probably know, we got a new government, we got one by the end of last year. And they are looking now for a lot of changes. And hopefully they will also make this project easier. It's not completely clear, but yeah, we're hoping for the best. So that just very shortly for the municipal utilities. And now my colleague from the cooperative will tell you something more about the PP.
Yeah, thanks, Sebastian. My name is Holger Kloos. Yesterday evening, we had a small discussion about what we have lesson learned in this project. And one of these lessons is that we are project development people. That means if you see the last point below, we say, okay, 15,000 euro we have for the battery swarm storage system. And let us put the money in these project development things. We have no real reliable laws at the moment. And we said, okay, let's start, let's do it, and show the people, show the politician what is the aim, what is the best thing to do that. So this is a lessons learned to go over the border or very close to the border. And Sebastian did the technical and political work together with the other guys here inside the municipality and the cooperation. So this is the lessons learned from that, and we want to tell you this again, to encourage you to say, okay, even if the laws are not proper at the moment, do it, because we as the citizens belong to the political system. So the second part of the pilot action in Pfaffenhofen is to bring the people together, to show what is important for the people. And we said in workshops, what is the best idea? And we asked the citizens and look for these projects. Even this battery swarm system is coming from a citizen. He said, let us try that. And we said how we can promote the dangers of the CO2 situation in the world. And we decided to make a CO2 clock, which 3 of these steering things we can use. And we can talk with the people, with the people, scholar in schools and so on. And you see here this clock, and we can put the steering gear, steering things, and see what has happened if we go on with this CO2 emission. What happens if you have a limit of 1.5 degree limit and so on. And this is very interesting for the people. They stand in the citizen park, they discuss about that. The people in the school discuss. So we want to thank you, especially for you, Giulio, and the project partner, that we could bring these 2 pilots into the project, because at the beginning we had a mobile system project, and for the pandemic system we couldn't realize that. So that's a story about our pilot actions. Thank you all, colleagues, for this great engagement with this less money, and thank you, dear project partner, for this great project, and thank you, auditorium, for listening our presentation. Bye.
Dear Holger and Sebastian, thank you very much for sharing your experiences. Dear ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of this pilot project activities part, and I give the floor to the moderator. Thanks once again.
Grazie mille per tutte le esperienze che ci avete presentato e che ci hanno arricchito, perché sono tutte esperienze non solo di buone pratiche, ma anche esperienze di implementazioni e di ascolto dei cittadini. E quindi, proseguendo con il programma, io darei la parola a Gianluca Foca del Comune di Forlì per la riqualificazione degli edifici pubblici. Grazie.
Buongiorno a tutti. Sono Gianluca Foca, dirigo il servizio edifici pubblici del Comune di Forlì e farò un intervento in 2 parti. Intanto mi presento. Il servizio edifici pubblici, quindi il Comune di Forlì, ha delle strutture tecniche che gestiscono il vasto numero di immobili e anche di infrastrutture di proprietà comunale. Come tutte le città, i problemi nella gestione di queste strutture partono innanzitutto da una loro riqualificazione e dall'esigenza di avere, diciamo così, sempre l'occhio alla tecnologia e all'innovazione. Anche gli interventi sugli edifici rispondono più o meno a questi criteri, partire dai valori che esprimono questi edifici. Normalmente stiamo parlando, e in gran parte rispetto al parco degli edifici comunali, oltre 200, stiamo parlando di edifici vincolati, quindi con un interesse architettonico storico, e partendo da questi valori svilupparli nella direzione dell'innovazione, delle tecnologie e dell'efficienza energetica, quindi della riqualificazione proprio in linea con diciamo, gli argomenti che state studiando oggi. Abbiamo, come abbiamo detto, oltre 200 edifici, su 90 dei quali sono in corso dei progetti di riqualificazione, da manutenzioni straordinarie notevoli, tese appunto alla rifunzionalizzazione e all'ammodernamento impiantistico. Parte invece di questi sono interventi completi, cioè di riqualificazione complessiva, dalla sismica all'efficientamento energetico a una nuova veste architettonica di questi edifici. Allora qui, visto che il Comune di Forlì ospita questo meeting in una sede appunto comunale che è stata oggetto di uno di questi interventi recentemente, negli ultimi anni, abbiamo l'esempio di questo intervento completo, la riqualificazione di un edificio degli anni 30, un'ex palestra, l'ex palestra di Campostrino, dove oggi ci troviamo. Allora, vediamo. Freccia in giù, eccola qua, troppo veloce. Allora, siamo all'interno di un comparto, il comparto dell'ex ospedale. Vedete a sinistra la posizione un po' decentrata rispetto al campus universitario, ma comunque funzionalmente connessa con tutto quello che è l'organizzazione, la nuova organizzazione di questo comparto. L'area di Campostrino in particolare è strategica perché possiede, oltre che un oggetto edilizio, anche un'area esterna molto interessante dal punto di vista della riqualificazione funzionale. Il percorso che si è compiuto a partire da 8-9 anni fa, vedete 2013, ma si era già partiti 2 anni prima, nel 2011, ha visto un coinvolgimento del territorio. Quindi sono stati fatti dei progetti, quindi un concorso di progettazione che ha coinvolto numerosissimi partecipanti, e alla fine sono arrivati in fondo diversi progetti, tra i quali è stato scelto quello che poi è stato realizzato. Chiaramente in questi casi i partner esterni, come in questo caso la Regione, con una importante quota di finanziamento, sono trainanti per gli enti locali che normalmente fanno fatica a gestire in proprio interventi di questa natura. A seguito della progettazione affidata, questo vedete era lo studio nell'ambito del concorso di progettazione, che già faceva vedere più o meno i temi interessanti, quindi stiamo parlando di un'area verde, di un edificio che deve essere integrato con le funzioni esterne, un edificio restituito alla città che partiva da una vocazione invece molto più limitata, più ristretta, essendo una ex palestra. In questo caso diventa un luogo di aggregazione, è visto come un luogo dove la città ritrova un comparto degradato e quindi perduto per la conoscenza e la fruizione dei cittadini. Brevissimi cenni storici, vedete un'ex palestra quindi dedicata agli atleti della Forti Liberi, storicamente vedete costruita addirittura alla fine dell'Ottocento, con dei valori sicuramente particolari dal punto di vista architettonico, che sono stati interamente rispettati e valorizzati nell'intervento che si è fatto. Vedete le foto chiaramente interessanti di anni fa. Questa era la situazione prima dell'intervento, queste erano bozze di progetto. Questo il rendering in fase di progettazione, già si lavorava su una vocazione che potesse essere a servizio della cittadinanza, quindi come mi sembra di vedere in maniera speculare il rendering e la vostra presenza qui oggi. L'integrazione interno ed esterno, quindi tutta l'area a servizio, la presenza di un corpo che poteva essere, diciamo, ulteriore elemento di aggregazione, I lavori, come in tutti i casi, come spesso purtroppo accade nell'ambito pubblico, hanno avuto qualche piccolo inconveniente. Sono partiti direi anche bene, prevedevano anche, vedete, delle opere strutturali, quindi riqualificazione pesante dal punto di vista dell'involucro, delle strutture, di tutto quello che è l'apparato tecnologico, l'impiantistica interna. Rifacimento del tetto, ecco, questo è il lavoro finito. Nel frattempo è accaduto, come a volte succede, che l'appaltatore ha avuto un default, quindi c'è stata la necessità di rivedere il progetto a metà, di interrompersi, di individuare con i canali, diciamo, amministrativi un nuovo appaltatore, una nuova impresa, e questo ha portato a inevitabili dilungamenti. Diciamo che dal 2013 in cui siamo partiti siamo arrivati in fondo a questa situazione nel 2018. Quindi tutto sommato c'è sempre da ringraziare intanto tutti quelli che hanno collaborato, le imprese. Non facciamo mai non siamo mai troppo limitati nel ringraziare le imprese e i tecnici, perché sono quelli che ci permettono a noi enti pubblici di riuscire a condurre gli interventi anche in condizioni non sempre facili, come è avvenuto in questo caso. Direi che il risultato quindi lo vedete oggi, ci siete all'interno e questo è stato. Non posso fare a meno di fare invece una seconda parte di intervento relativamente ai programmi che l'amministrazione del Comune di Forlì, l'amministrazione comunale di Forlì ha per riqualificare il parco dei 200, abbiamo detto, edifici. Azioni che sono iniziate nel 2013 e forse qualcuna anche prima. Queste azioni prevedono in particolare un'attenzione particolare all'efficientamento energetico. Nel 2013, grazie, come vedete anche sotto, alla sinergia con la società FMI in house al Comune di Forlì, che ci ha dato da sempre supporto tecnico e svolge il ruolo di energy manager, quindi col quale dialoghiamo per individuare le strategie, cioè gli edifici più energivori, quelli che meritano interventi integrati tra l'aspetto edilizio, l'aspetto tecnologico e chiaramente l'efficienza energetica che si vuole raggiungere. Abbiamo individuato dei percorsi, i primi dei quali li vedete lassù, riguardavano le scuole. Numerose scuole sono state efficientate e concluse. La prima parte, il primo periodo, diciamo, sono interventi conclusi. Il secondo periodo sono interventi in corso. Scuole medie, scuole elementari, asili, tutti sostanzialmente messi in pista, grazie, come dicevo prima, anche a dei finanziamenti parziali ma importanti della Regione Emilia-Romagna e alla possibilità che hanno gli enti alla fine degli interventi di accedere al conto termico, che è comunque un sostegno importante per un ente locale. Ultimamente stiamo sviluppando anche progetti di efficientamento al di là delle scuole, di contenitori particolarmente rilevanti per il comune, quindi il municipio, ne abbiamo già fatto una parte terminata, stiamo sviluppando un secondo lotto di efficientamento, il teatro Diego Fabbri e il complesso San Domenico. Mi viene spontaneo fare riferimento a una, diciamo così, una forma di adesione ai concetti della comunità energetica. Il Comune di Forlì ha scelto di aderire al piano di teleriscaldamento sviluppato da ERA, ma che include tutta una serie di soggetti locali, il Comune, l'Università, appunto ERA, e anche una serie di soggetti privati che hanno, diciamo, individuato per una parte chiaramente del proprio parco immobiliare, questa come strada di adesione a un sistema di, diciamo, alimentazione sostenibile, perché poi a monte chiaramente della rete di teleriscaldamento ci sono delle tecnologie sviluppate proprio per garantire queste finalità. Quindi diversi interventi li abbiamo fatti per l'allacciamento al teleriscaldamento, ad esempio quello che vedete lì, il teatro, è l'ultimo che stiamo realizzando. Numerose scuole, cioè chiaramente in funzione delle linee di rete di teleriscaldamento realizzate. Inoltre anche con i nostri partner, diciamo così, più operativi, quindi i nostri appaltatori di servizi, ERA, a cui abbiamo affidato nel 2020 2021 il consorzio Integra un anno e mezzo prima, con cui abbiamo delle concessioni novennali. Stiamo sviluppando delle azioni integrate tra la gestione e la valorizzazione e riqualificazione energetica degli edifici. Pensate che appunto circa nell'ambito di questi due contratti sono inclusi interventi di riqualificazione in oltre 30 edifici dei 200, oltre a tutti gli altri che l'amministrazione porta avanti da sola. Quindi questi interventi andranno fatti nei prossimi 2 anni insieme ai partner ERA e Consorzio Integra, che sono i nostri gestori, e abbiamo l'obiettivo di arrivare in 2 anni alla riduzione dei consumi del 20%, che è significativa ed esprimerà il suo diciamo, valore soprattutto negli ulteriori anni di gestione. Infine, diciamo, in questo periodo si sta molto parlando del PNRR, Piano Nazionale di Ripresa e Resilienza. Chiaramente sono fondi che partono dall'Unione Europea, si aggiungono ai finanziamenti statali e regionali di cui dicevo prima, sono una risorsa importantissima per i nostri enti, tutti gli enti locali, ma anche, come è scritto, una sfida, perché sono una mole veramente di interventi e di progetti che sono destinati a cambiare interamente le abitudini anche dei cittadini e il volto delle città. E da questa, diciamo, quantità e dalle tempistiche connesse nasce tutta una serie di problematiche gestionali che stiamo vivendo ed affronteremo. Siamo sicuramente tutti convinti che abbiamo 5 anni di tempo, quindi 4 e mezzo, insomma, fino al 2026 per attuare questi interventi, e saranno veramente, insomma, importantissimi per la nostra città e direi a livello nazionale per tutte le città. Ecco, su cosa è imperniato il PNR? Principalmente sulla rigenerazione urbana, quindi sul concetto di prendere delle parti di città degradate o non utilizzate o non compiutamente valorizzate, fruibili oggi, e fare degli interventi anche molto, come dice lì, decisi, cioè interventi sostanziali. La rigenerazione urbana prevede un lato lavori e anche un lato servizi, quindi devono essere interventi che poi si legano a una sostenibilità in termini gestionali degli edifici che si realizzano, delle attività che vi si svolgono, quindi non solo devono essere dei contenitori, delle scatole che si realizzano diciamo in maniera adeguata alle norme e alle prassi, ma devono esserci anche degli studi di attività, di funzioni, di diciamo tutto quello che serve per creare appunto dei servizi. Allora, le prestazioni richieste, gli obiettivi richiesti dal PNRR sono molto sfidanti. Gli edifici, soprattutto quelli nuovi, prevedono dei livelli di efficienza energetica alti, abbastanza alti. Molti di questi prevedono il risparmio di suolo, e qui facciamo delle volte fatica a starci perché abbiamo a volte delle situazioni fra virgolette limitate, risicate in termini di superfici, ma cerchiamo di rispettare diciamo, le superfici, soprattutto quelle permeabili, ampliandole, diminuendo le superfici coperte, quindi ragionando in termini progettuali in linea con i principi appunto di rispetto del suolo. Sostenibilità ambientale, diciamo, sono legati al PNR, i concetti della riduzione degli impatti climatici sviluppati in questi studi di ENES-CE, che significano che i nostri interventi devono cercare di ridurre l'impatto dell'edificio sul clima in termini di non solo di consumi, quindi di utilizzo delle risorse naturali, ma anche di danni che l'antropizzazione, quindi tutti gli interventi creati dall'uomo, possono creare in funzione anche, come ben sappiamo, dell'andamento climatico diciamo sfavorevole rispetto a determinate condizioni e soprattutto in previsione di quello che possa essere un'evoluzione del clima nei prossimi, diciamo nel prossimo secolo. Il Comune di Forlì, con gli interventi che ha in corso, punta sulla rigenerazione del centro storico, quindi tutti gli interventi PNR vertono attorno al centro. In particolare il sistema museale viene pensato ritarando il centro, la centralità su Piazza Saffi, comprende interventi come la biblioteca, Palazzo Merenda, il San Domenico, il Santarelli stesso è incluso in relazione con gli altri interventi, Palazzo Albertini, Palazzo Romagnoli, tutto però gravitando sul centro Piazza Saffi. Direi che ho finito e ringrazio tutti per l'attenzione.
Grazie molto per l'intervento e anche perché sei stato perfettamente nei tempi. E adesso, come da programma, c'è la pausa pranzo, ci rivediamo qui alle 14:30. Buon appetito.